Hi, it's Cheryl from Caribou Country Lifestyle. So it's been a couple of weeks now since I had my shoulder surgery, and I wanted to take you along with me on my vertical garden tour. We have so much that's growing and ready to pick, and there's still so much farther to go. So let's take a look at everything that's going on. So I've never grown okra before, and I want to try. This one looks like it's big enough that we can try it. Oh, I got an ant crawling up my leg. I'm just trying to cut it without cutting anything else off. Okay, so this is the okra, and I've never had okra before. I've watched it on other YouTube channels, and they say it has a mucilage texture. So let's check it out and see what that means. It's supposed to be really good for your digestion. I don't know. Look, it's not bad. It's got like, I don't know if you can see in here. I don't mind it. But really, there's nothing much to it. I don't not like it. That's good. I don't know. It's not like, oh my gosh, that's the best thing I've ever tasted. I think my favorite vegetable in the garden is probably the cucumber or the snap peas. But for never having okra before, and I'm never grown it before, it's not bad. I told my husband, I showed him the flowers on it. Like, the flowers on the okra are absolutely beautiful. And I was saying to him that I would grow it just for the flowers. They are so pretty. I'll have to make sure that when I see the next flower on there. I noticed there's another okra. It needs a little bit longer. Like, on the tag, it was saying to let it get about 4 or 5 inches long, and then you know that it's ready and you can pick it. So I definitely wanted to see what it was like at that. I think it was like about that long. So that's probably a good 4 inches, but maybe I'll let it get a little bit longer the next time, and then I'll try it again. Okay, so that was the okra. And I was saying I have another one going on in here. There it is. Right there. Another one. We'll let it get bigger. But this Swiss chard, oh my goodness. I have picked so much Swiss chard. But I love the different colors. It's just produces a lot, and it doesn't seem to bolt like your lettuce does. This is where my lettuce was, and after we came back from our week camping, it had all gone to seed, and so I pulled it out. But the rutabagas, let me pull this back. They seem to be doing all right. Can't really see. There we go. They seem to be doing okay. They're gumming, but you don't usually pick those until early fall. They even let to have a little bit of a frost on them. coming through here we have lots of alyssum, and my fern leaf dill has its seed heads on it. Here are my melons. I have a couple of little flowers. That's the early dew melon. Then I have another early dew melon coming in through here. And there's an early dew. And there's my watermelon that still hasn't really done much of anything. In front of this, I have, in the front are just my regular carrots, and in behind are the solar yellow carrots. The leeks are getting so big. So here I have, it's called a molasses tonic, and I've been reading in a book called Grow for Flavor, and the fellow in there, they've done a lot of research, and in the book it was saying how once you have flowers on your tomatoes, that once a month you're going to spray your tomatoes with this molasses tonic. So I've pre-mixed it in my spray bottle, and that was 16 ounces of, I used an organic molasses with 2 liters of water, and you mix it together. And so I've put it in this spray bottle, and I've mixed it all up and stirred it. So what I'm doing now is I am spraying my tomatoes at the base. I'm not spraying it on any of the foliage. I'm just going to spray it at the base, and I'll just do that. I already sprayed my Amish paste and my Oxheart tomatoes. But for that amount, it says you should be able to water 10 square, it's, you know, putting 4 cups on every 10 square feet. Well, this is where I'm not exactly sure if what I'm doing is right. I'm just spraying each individual plant with the spray, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm giving it the 4 cups over 10 square feet, because I'm basically just spraying the bottom of each of the tomatoes with the tonic. So right now I'm actually spraying my Brandywine. Oh my gosh, my pigs are like destroying the fence over there. So I'm spraying the Brandywine, and I'm also spraying the Carnival Blend, which is another type of Brandywine. It's just assorted colors in the tomatoes. Okay, just going to move this over to the other tomatoes that I have. Okay, on with the tour. These calendula or calendula, never exactly sure what's the proper term. I think it's calendula. Look at those marigolds. That's like one plant. Oh, and look at this zinnia that's kind of poked in behind there. That's so pretty. These are my cayenne pepper, and look at this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like loaded with cayenne pepper. This is 2 plants that I've planted side in together in the same spot. So that was my cayenne pepper. This is my red habanero pepper. Well, I've got flowers, but I don't see any peppers on it yet. Okay, this is my jalapeno pepper. We've started, if you can see on the bottom, I have like 1, 2, 3 little jalapeno peppers. Again, this is all my peppers I have. I have 2 plants put together. And then this little one, this is the Tabasco pepper. I don't see any flowers on it yet, so just have to wait for that one. But my Brandywine, I've got tomatoes there. In back I have tomatoes. It's just loaded in the flowers. And I have been pinching out the suckers. Look at this cluster. This is the Carnival blend. I've got 3 there, a couple more in behind. Like just clusters of tomatoes. So many tomatoes. Another cluster in behind here. Right there. So many tomatoes. Like this, I should have been doing vertical growing and staking tomatoes. This is the best my tomatoes have ever done. I have always ended up having to buy tomatoes because my tomatoes haven't done very well. This is my butternut squash. And as you can see here, I have 1 butternut squash there. Lots of flowers. It's making its way up the arbor of my supports. Here is my broccoli. And if I look on the top, right here, there's a broccoli head starting. This is the Munchkin broccoli. Another zinnia. I'm pretty sure this is the candy cane zinnia. I cut back my alyssum a bit because this is my Aunt Molly's ground cherry. Now, I've never grown these before. It kind of reminds me of tomatillos. So what happens is the ground cherries are growing inside of these papery husks, and once they're ready, these husks will dry out, and you open it up, and inside there's a little, it's called a ground cherry, and it's sweet. And I have so many of them growing in here, so I'm pretty excited. Like, again, like the okra, I've never grown this before. I can't wait to actually get something off of that. More calendula. This is my, what is it? Dwarf? I think the tag, yeah, the dwarf curled kale. This one has just done so well. The Toscano kale is doing good, but I have so many, the butterflies, the white butterflies, and they are just dropping cutworm. They put the eggs on the leaves, which then produces the cutworms, and they are getting eaten quite a bit by the cutworms, so they don't seem to be doing as well. Okay, oh, look at this. Spaghetti squash. So what I've done with the spaghetti squash here is I've put it in a mesh bag. I don't know if you can see the mesh bag. We have it, it's inside a mesh bag, and we have it tied to the support. There's another one in behind. There's 2, 3. This one I have to actually put into a mesh bag. That one I have to put into a mesh bag. We did this one and we tied up this one here. And this way they can grow and not pull the whole vine down, and they can still get bigger. But look at how this is growing up the arbor. Like it's halfway up the arbor. And we're gonna have to, on this side, it's gonna have to tie that up. I guess Jamie will have to climb up there because there's no way that I can do that. I can't get up there. So that's exciting. Calendula, more zinnias. This one's interesting. It's just starting to get the red on it. Splashes of red, like this one. It's just starting to get the splashes of red. And look at these eggplants. Like, just how big they are. I love these flowers that it grows on them. I haven't seen any eggplants, but lots of flowers. These are my Brussels sprouts. Again, really have a lot of bug damage on them from the cutworms. This one too, lots of bug damage on it from the cutworms. But look at that spaghetti squash. It's huge. Okay. Here we have, these are the golden Detroit beets. I've thinned them out, but I think I have to come in and thin them out again. Beside those are my cylinder beets. These ones, I might have to thin them out again. In behind are the red ace beets. And those will probably need to be thinned out. Growing here are my bush beans. Lots of flowers on them. And look at this. We've started producing beans. So there's another one, a little bit bigger. I'm going to be picking beans on these. I'm probably going to process a lot of these beans. The bush beans, the strike ones haven't produced enough that I would produce anything off of them yet. Here we have the celery. I have picked a couple of stalks. I made a potato salad and I picked couple of stalks off of the celery. They were not quite as big as you would normally let celery get, but I just needed some. And there's another candy cane zinnia. Look at these sunflowers. Got some more broccoli. This is my cauliflower. I've got little heads starting to produce. There's another one. My cabbage. Not as much bug damage over here, but I have noticed a lot more spiders. And so that has, well, at least not on my cabbage. This stuff still looks like it has quite a bit of bug damage. These are my tomatoes. Let's go around to the other side where we can have a better look. So again, I have my molasses tonic for these tomatoes. The one closest here. These are my New Girl tomatoes. Look at those clusters of tomatoes. It's just loaded. Another one. Some new ones. That's the New Girl. This is all New Girl tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes. This is my natural black cherry. We've got a few tomatoes growing in on there. They're just beginning. Here in front of those, we have the poblano peppers. I have, oh, there's a poblano pepper, and down here there's a poblano pepper, but I have a bigger one on this one. Can you see that? That's on my poblano pepper. This is the one beside it. Here we have Sweet Heat, and it is loaded with peppers. And again, that's 2 pepper plants on here, and that's the Sweet Heat. This is, on this side is the Sweet Sunset, and over here is the Sweet Heat. So again, I am going to take this molasses tonic and spray these tomatoes as well. I don't know, I think I'm just spraying enough to soak the ground around the plant. Should be enough. I don't know. Never done this before. It's all new to me. I'll get this one. That's my New Girls. My black, natural black cherry. So yeah, once a month you spray this once they've gotten their flowers. Like I say, I could have probably did this before, but I wasn't really feeling up to par to be doing this. Took me probably, well, lately all I've been doing is coming out here and watering. I do a little bit of picking, but within no time I'm going back in to rest. And usually it's time to go and ice my arm anyways. I have to ice my arm for 2 hours. And then after that time is up, I wait 3 hours, and then I ice my shoulder for 2 hours again. And then once that time is up, then I wait 3 hours, and so on and so on. So I am icing my arm in the morning, in the afternoon, and then in the evening. And then I don't ice it all night. And that's probably where I'm struggling the most, is at night. That's when my arm starts aching, and I haven't been having the best of sleeps because my arm is so achy. But I'm still sleeping in the recliner. I'm not back in my own bed yet. I've tried a couple of times, but the last 2 nights I start out in my bed, and then I'm leaving because I'm in quite a bit of achy pain, and I go back to the recliner. I just find that the bed just isn't comfortable at all, unfortunately, because I actually really like sleeping in my own bed. Not that the recliner is the end-all beat-all. It's better, but it's not great. So, oh well, not much I can do about that. Okay, so my peas have been producing lots. They're almost at a point they're starting to dry out over here, so I can tell that they're not going to be producing for very much longer. I have a few peas up here. I noticed I've got some bug damage. If you can see that pea, there's bug damage on that. It's been eating, something's been eating it. So I'm pretty much almost finished with the peas. Oh, there's a big one. Better pick that one. I'll just eat that one. I tried growing some more spinach in behind, but it's just not growing. It must be just still too hot for it. It's been going to seed before it even produces any leaves. So in front of the spinach is my solar yellow carrots, and then these are my purple haze carrots. I want to see what these, see if there's one that's maybe ready to be picked. Let's try this one. Look at that. Purple haze carrots. It's a baby. But that's okay. Little dirt never hurt anyone. See, it's orange in the center. Oh. I wonder if with the purple haze carrots, because you see how when you plant burgundy beans, I'm gonna crouch down here. When you plant burgundy beans, when you cook them, they turn green. They don't stay burgundy. I wonder if that's the same with the purple haze carrots. But once you cook them, does the purple go away? We'll have to find that out. Okay. Throw this over for the pigs. Let's continue on. Okay. Look at those zinnias. I just love how they have those little stars in the inside of them. There's another one I'm going to open up. So here are my early white snowball cauliflower. That one's pretty small. My red cabbage that a friend gave me. This is the cheddar cauliflower, and look at this one. It actually has started to produce a head. So I'm going to be bringing these leaves up and tying it over it. We got a, I don't know what these are, but we have these little black wasp type bugs. And I think they've made a home underneath this bed. So Jamie filled it in, but they figured out a way to get out. So now they're coming out through here. I don't know. Okay, so my strawberry plants. Remember how I was talking about I was going to get with these runners that are setting off from the strawberry plants, that I was going to put the runners, the plants off of the strawberry. So I'll get one here. Here is the runner on the strawberry plant. And what I've done is I've put it in the little pot. I thought maybe if I could use my landscape staples that we had, but they were... Okay, So these were the staples I was going to use. These are like at least 6 inches. And they were just too big for the pot. So they're way taller than the pot. So when I hold it up here, it's way taller than the pot. I could not, when I stuck it in, it wouldn't hold the plant to the ground. So then I decided, what could I use? So I took paper clips, metal paper clips, and I unfolded them, and I thought, well, maybe I could use those. Well, the dirt was so light because I was using seedling and potting mix mixed together, and it was so light that when I put this in, it just popped right back up. It wasn't enough to hold the plant down. So then I decided, well, let's use a rock. And I will put the rock on top of the runner where the plant has started. So I put a rock on top of it to hold it down onto the ground. And I'll show you what that looks like. So right there, there's the rock, and it's holding this part of the runner down, and then that part of the runner still attached to the main plant. This is another plant off of the same runner. So I'm gonna do 2 plants. If we look a little further, there's another runner that's growing on the same stem. So I'm probably going to be starting a 3rd plant. So hopefully I can get myself some new strawberry plants. It was my motive for that, was to get more strawberry plants. So I'm just going to put this stuff away. I'll put this down. Okay, I just gotta close the gate. So you're a little more limited on what you can do with one arm. So just give me a sec. So what I'm doing is I'm watering as well with this molasses tonic. I'm watering all my tomatoes here on the deck as well. So I'm just filling those up with water with molasses tonic. This tomato here that I'm watering, that's my chocolate sprinkles. Up here is my tumbler variety. This is the yellow. I gotta pull this closer. Maybe I gotta take this planter down. I can't water it as good as the ones on the ground. Yes, so this is my yellow tumbler. I'll put it back up. I forgot I gotta hang this from the back side for whatever reason. These hanging baskets hang better from the back side than they do from the front side. I have another tumbler here. Take that down and give it a drink of this. So we'll see how this works. I've never done this before. I just read up on it. This book was a suggestion. This Grow grow the flavor, grow for flavor, I should say. So yeah, and then I just have this other chocolate sprinkles over here. So hopefully I haven't given it too much. It was really hard to figure out the 4 cups per 10 square feet. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm fly by the seat of my pants, and hopefully that it works. So I also wanted to add, because I was talking about this molasses tonic, I was telling you about the book that I was reading. So this is the book that I'm reading, Grow for Flavor. And I found the page where I had read this, and here's what it was saying, was that by using this simple molasses feed, this byproduct of sugar processing is very high in potassium, which has been shown not only to improve the flavor and yield of tomatoes, but also to boost their lycopene content. It has even been shown to cause them to ripen faster, a potential lifesaver in short summers. That's us. We are zone 3, and we definitely have a shorter summer than the higher zones. Molasses is also a great source of minerals in your plant's needs, with its sugars helping boost the growth of friendly bacteria and fungi in the soil. These microbes have the knock-on effect of mopping up excess nitrogen, which has been demonstrated to improve not only the sweetness, but also acidity and vitamin C in tomatoes by keeping your plants slightly under stress. A real virtuous circle. If you'd like to experiment with this yourself, here is where you're going to dilute your 2 cups or 16 ounces of molasses with your 2 liters of water. You will stir that up to dilute it, and it actually is saying to do it in a watering can, but I did it in my little sprayer. And you can actually sprinkle this mix over your soil every 2 weeks from the time that you see the first flowers appear on your tomato plants. So for me to remember to do that every 2 weeks, that's something that I'm going to have to put in my calendar, because time just flies by so fast that I'm not even paying attention to what the date is. And with me having the summer off, it's just one day just falls into another, and it's easy to bypass 2 weeks and not even think anything of it. So I'll definitely have to put that on my calendar and do it again, see what happens. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens with my tomatoes. So, all right, there you have it. It's been pretty hot here still. We had a bit of rain last week a couple of times, but it's been still pretty hot around here. Yesterday it was 34 degrees, so you're in the high 90s Fahrenheit, and today it's only going to be 31 degrees as a high, and tomorrow it's only going to be 24 degrees. So it's gonna cool off a bit more. They were calling for rain for tomorrow, but now my phone's not saying that we're gonna get rain, so who knows. We'll just have to wait and see. see what happens. But thanks for joining me, and we tried a few things. The okra was, I would grow it again for sure. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever tasted, but it's not bad either. And the purple haze carrots, I'll try it again when it's a little bit bigger. It had good sweetness to it, but it had a little bit of a bitter flavor to it as well. So we've still got some time to try it again and see how it fares in another couple of weeks or so. But the beans are coming in now, so we're going to be picking lots of beans. We've got lots of green tomatoes, so it's going to be a while before they actually start to blush and get their color on them. My peppers are coming along, some better than others, but you know, I have peppers on some and lots of flowers on others and nothing on some. It's just spaghetti squash is doing so good, and it's nice to see that the butternut squash has actually started to produce some butternut squashes on it. So I'll have to keep my eye out on those. That again will just, once they start producing, we're going to use those same mesh plastic bags. I got those mesh plastic bags off of Amazon, and you just slip the spaghetti squash in it before it gets too big. So there was a couple there that I'm going to have to put those bags on them, because that biggest spaghetti squash, I almost couldn't even get the bag on it to slip it over it to tie it to the mesh panel or the cattle panel. So you definitely want to be putting those mesh bags on when they're on a smaller size before it gets too big that they don't fit over them. They don't come in different sizes, at least the ones that I ordered didn't come in different sizes, but if you get them on in advance beforehand, you can slip them over them, and then it makes it easier to tie them to the panel. So I'll be having to pay attention. I'm going to have to get Jamie to help me put the bags on. I can't tie them up to the panel right now. And I'm also going to have to get him to help me with that one top part on the spaghetti squash where it was coming off of the top support. He's going to have to weave that through as well for me. So anyways, that's it. All I have for you for today. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, you might want to do so and throw a little like in there. Anyways, thanks for joining me and have a great day. Bye for now.